We've talked about promoting your listings. I warned him I've got ADD when I start doing this. I'm all over the room. I said, you're not going to be able to follow me. You know, no matter what, just don't get Nancy in the shot. We talked about promoting your listings. Now let's talk about the online presentation of your listings. I call it speed dating for homes. You know why? Anybody want to guess?
The same one as,
Wild guess, what?
Because when people are searching homes online, if they're, they like what they see, they're going to go further into the house.
And if they don't,
Then we'll move on. So that first
How many of
impression
you-
makes a difference.
how many of you know what speed dating is? And this isn't a test as much as, just raise your hand if you understand the concept of speed dating. Okay, speed dating when, I go to a public place and I'll sit down in front of somebody for 2 minutes. Hey, what's your name? Okay, Emily. Nice to meet you. What do you like? Do you like dogs? Well, you know what? I'm not going to pick Emily at the end of the night because she didn't like dogs. But I might meet 10 other people and I might like 2 of them. And if those 2 pick me, then they'll connect me, right? But I only have a couple minutes to make an impression or not. Here, you have a few seconds to make an impression. Because if I'm a buyer, potential buyer, I go to the website, I do a little search, and I say, show me houses in Westfield between $180,000 and $220,000. And all the options are going to come up. And I'm going to look at the pictures, and I'm going to say, oh, that's a nice picture, or and I'm going to give you about 3 or 4 seconds to impress me. And if you impress me, I'm going to click and go to the details page, aren't I? If you don't impress me, I move on. And you know what I do next time? Next time I come back and say, show me houses in Westfield, 182,000. Show only new listings. And that was your one chance to get their attention. So that's why I think the online presentation is relative to speed dating. What's important about that, copy, your description is going to be important. Not the most important thing in my opinion, certainly price is, but I think that your description, I pulled a couple of examples. If anybody can tell me what an immaculated house is, it doesn't sound good. You know what an immaculated house is?
I'm scared to ask.
We don't know. We're trying to figure it out.
It's immaculated.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. My point about the one on the left, it tells me the facts, but it doesn't get, it's like, so, as I keep looking at this, and I think this is a Chevy. Chevy, super sport appliances, yeah. And other stuff. How does that make the agent look when you're saying they have hardwoods? My point, the one on the right, rewritten to engage them a little bit. You'll enjoy, or go outside and appreciate. Just words that are more active, that aren't just abbreviations, blah, 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 or an entire paragraph of, big kitchen, how many commas can you put in a single sentence? So that's number one, is engaging them that way. What do you think about this?
very hard to read, it's all
Yeah.
capitals, yeah.
It's all caps. I can't read it. I have yet to read this whole thing through. Whenever I have trouble reading something, I know because I go back and start over again. And once I've done that 3 times, I'm like, I give up. So and it's not, I wouldn't necessarily, like I say, I can't judge whether I like it or not because I haven't read it. Okay. The most important thing, however, are your photos.
Yes, yes, yes.
There's no question, because that's what I'm looking at. Is it a pretty picture? We have requirements. Our requirements are not that strict. And here's what they are. Here they are. Just gonna pass them out. You guys will have them. But if you look, the minimum size is 1600 pixels wide. There's no camera on the market.
I got one more for Linda. I'm gonna take her.
There's no camera where 1600 is, and probably their small size. So that's not going to be a problem. The key is how you take it, when you take it, how you frame the picture, things like that. That's what you really want. I always say control what you can control. If you can get pets out of the picture, if you can get cars not parked in the driveway, things like that, do it. Get stuff off the counters, clean it up, make it look nice, like you would for an open house or any showing. Make it look engaging. Who's the first person that sees your listing online? My opinion, it's going to be your sellers. Your seller, you're going to say, we're live. I'm so excited. Our listing is live. What are they? They're going to go, let's find it. And they're going to call you and say, I can't find it yet. I know it's only been 3 minutes. It's okay. Come on. A lot of people say, oh, the agent's going to be, no, you're not. You're probably not going to look for it. And if you don't do a good job, they're going to look and go, yeah. I always say this. Every house I've owned has looked really good twice. When I moved in and when I moved out. That's me. But that's the only times they've really looked good. And if I'm selling it, I want it to look like one of those times. Your job is to make sure those pictures do that. Yeah.
And if you're not a good photographer, like if you don't understand lights and angles, then I think it's worth every penny to hire a professional. And I spend, you know, because if it's a really low price house, you probably wouldn't, but I spend about 95 to 100 to have it done.
And that's nothing, and there are some people who will do it for less than that.
Yeah, yeah.
And more than that, certainly, but yeah. And you walk away, your sellers are going, yeah, that looks great. You're happy with it, you don't have to stress over it. But that's, for these guys, that's, how many of you have, you know, that kind of spending cash, you can say, yeah, I'll do that. You know, they'll get there. My goal is to get you there. If not, let's show you how, you know, maybe give you some tips. Don't resize photos. Don't let us deal with sizing. If we need it smaller, if we need it 1600, we'll bring it down. We process photos, and Linda helps color them and things like that before we do anything with it. Aerials we can't use. Don't shoot panoramic pictures specifically for primary shots or for advertising. We can't use it. This TV is what they call 16 by 9 TV. The old TVs, the tube TV 4 by 3, that's where, that's how our advertising works. If you look at the ads that are in here, that's what those pictures are framed as. That's what your pictures need to be for our advertising. And snow photos, we only let those be advertised from November to April. Go out and get a new picture. Make it look seasonal. I'll give you some examples. Well, first of all, panoramic, wide shot. Once we cut it down to size for our advertising, sides are cut off. We want to show the whole house. Our goal is to give people the full impression, not just, oh, here's the pretty front door of this house. What's the rest of the house look like? They're going to want to see it. So that would be rejected because of that. You look at the address on this one. I will tell you that I pulled these pictures a couple years ago in September. So which one looks more seasonal? Which one is going to win my speed dating contest?
The one that was kind of.
Yeah, I mean, now you start answering my questions. When I give you the obvious one like this. Yeah, they're next door to each other. They're probably about the same size, probably in the same price range. Which one am I going to say, I'm going to go look at that one? It's obvious. It took me actually a few of these classes before I looked at the one on the right and said, they didn't even bother to close the storm door. You know, that's, and the agent, oh my gosh, I'm so busy, I couldn't get back out to take new pictures of this listing. A good problem to have, right? That's when you have your assistant do it, right? The one on the right I took offline because you notice the sizing, small picture. It didn't even fit the frame for the website. If it got blown up, then it'd be all pixelated. And think about that, the one on the left isn't even, it's not that great of a house, but it sure looks good. If I'm looking in that area, in that price range, I'm going to be interested in it. September. The only day, we're going to reject this happily because it's cut off, but you know what, the only day I could get out there was back in February when we had 6 inches of snow that day, and I probably didn't even get out of my car. Control what you can control. Whose car is that? If it's your car, you got bigger problems. Picture of a mailbox or a house. And you're going to have trouble like that. There may be seasonality where you go, you know what, I'm going to go in second week of May and take new pictures of this house because the trees there'll be some color, but I can see the house. You're going to have challenges like that. We always will. But there are options to get around it. I also say, don't edit yourself while you're taking pictures if you're doing this. Take a picture from here, move 5 steps, take another picture. Who cares if you take 300 pictures of the house, go back and say, that's the one I want. You may not know until you get back to the office.